stuff outside.
Takes the stuff outside, so what did we call it?
Muck.
It's our mucker.
Mucker.
It's different. It's got hard wheels, so it's a hard wheeled mucker rather than the rubber wheels we saw up top. Also, it literally throws the ore into the ore cart behind it, so it's an overshot mucker was the preferred term because it overshot its own body. Now it's missing one big thing. It's not diesel. It's pneumatic or compressed air powered, just like the drills. So didn't have diesel originally here at the Orphan Grow. And so the little operator would stand here, pull a lever, scoops it, throws it into the ore cart behind it. These were notorious for tipping because they were designed to be perfectly balanced on the rails. Now you got a guy operating it on the stand, it's going to tip. It's going to tip towards the operator. And they were very prone to do so. It takes about 10 men to move that off you. Not a fun time. Coal mines still use these today and some of the smaller ones. Their muckers are a little smaller too. You know, they got 36-inch coal seams. So you're talking about yay high is as big as your mine is. Not a fun time. Watch your feet on the rails, guys.
How come they didn't put counterbalance on the other side of it?
Just never did.
Never did.
Just never did. Even to the ones we still use today,
So
still don't have them.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Who knows why? It's just one of those. They just didn't. Watch right on this pulley here in the chute, but as we walk past to the right, look up. This is another type of stope we call a raise. Why do we call it a raise?
Because it goes
up. Is it easier to mine up and have the rock come down with gravity, or to mine down and pull it up?
Come down, grab it.
Come down with gravity. So stations in Butte were either 100 to 200 feet apart. For the 100-foot stations, in terms of distance, they could go up to 90 feet vertically, leaving 10 feet of granite between you and that next station, and that was deemed safe. Don't let your mucker break his back shoveling at the bottom. Send it down the chute. Little board here. Move the board. It fills up your cart for you. Kind of interesting thing there. Most of our veins here in Butte were 60 degrees to vertical. So this mining technique was much preferred. Most of the mining here in Butte, we call it shrink stoping. As you would mine, your material would come down, creating a platform for you to stand on as you mine up. You guys will see what happens when you don't maintain your drifts down that way.
Kind of fell in.
Uh-huh. We got a little bit more to see. When you get to about knee, I recommend switching to the other side just because there's a lot more water on this side. I've got waterproof boots, but
I don't.
most people who come here don't.
I don't see it under the mud, but these railroads, they must have cross ties, right? Wooden cross ties or something?
Yep, underneath,
Okay.
just like the railroads. Mm-hmm. And we'll keep coming in a little further just to get it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so here's all that new lumber. We'll talk about that here in a second. So you guys were asking about the Orphan Boy earlier. This is where we connect to the Orphan Boy or the UMAC, showing you that mines can connect underground. Not our properties, we won't go back there. But if Montana Tech students, which they do commonly, come down, they'll do maintenance for us sometimes. They can come right through there. Before we go into the station, I'll show you one more thing.
Is that a 4-year degree or like a 2-year technical degree or what?
4-year. 4-year for a mining engineering degree. I'm going to have you guys turn around before we go into the station. Collapse that happened in the 30s. Showing you one of the job hazards here. You'll see all that old timber. You are completely safe up to that fence line. It is bolted all the way up there, so no worries there. But just showing you one of the job hazards here for working in an underground mine.
So that in the 30s, is that any fatalities from that?
From this, I believe not. The Orphan Girl was relatively safe. I've heard 2 numbers for fatality count here. So keep in mind, 81 years of mine life. It was either 8 or 13 deaths here. It was a very, very low count here in the Orphan Girl. One of those deaths, funny enough, was a heart attack. The miner had a heart attack down here and died. And that counted as a mine-related death, but not silicosis. Kind of a weird thing here. Okay, so now we'll focus on our station. So, like I said last year, we upgraded all of our timber to this new timber. It is historically accurate except for one dimension.
No creosote.
That's not true.
Height.
Oh, I-
I used to take you guys under the old timber. It sat about yay high on me. It was much shorter. Turns out we get a lot taller of guests. And the head of the mining department's about 6'3", and he loves giving tours. Scott Rosenthal, he asked if we could bump it up a little higher. We said, yeah, you know what, it's in the budget, we can do that. It makes it better for guests as well. This is historically accurate, except for the creosote. We actually didn't treat this timber. Turns out when they brought us this timber towards the end of last season, they said, well, we can treat it, and you'll have to wait till next summer to get it, so which would have been wouldn't even be here yet. Or we could get it now and they'll shave off about 20, 30 years of mine life. And we said, we'll shave off the 20, 30 years to make sure we can run now. So this isn't treated. These are historically accurate 12 by 12 timbers here. And if you notice in the corners, do you see any nails or bolts? No.
all like interlocked in.
Yeah, it's like puzzle piece, dovetailed is another word for it. Turns out the earth doesn't like vacancies or voids or empty spaces, so that rock will creep and push against these timbers, locking them in place. It was considered a waste of steel, and so they didn't bolt in the corners. There's actually a great exhibit of that in the underground exhibit, so not the mining, but underneath the hoist house where we kind of walk down that ramp talking about the mules. There's a whole underground exhibit, and they'll show you all the different patterns they used.
So they just sitting on the surface, or they down
They're down in a little bit.
a little bit?
Probably good 6 to 8 inches here. Once we get out of this wet patch, you guys can spread out. But on the right hand side, I do have a tool room. This is an example of a bulkhead that we were talking about. This is our old tool room and water tank room. There's a water tank in the back. Way back there. So now you guys have seen the water tank. I want you guys to look at the shaft. To your left, 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 left. Keep going. 90 degrees more left.
Oh.
So I'll have you guys look at the shaft once you've seen the water tank. Here's our shaft here.
Okay.
You're good. You're
Yeah.
good. Is that water tank gonna fit there? No. No, it had to be. Yeah, they had to weld it and build it, everything down here. We've got our new electrical, as you can see. All of this darker timber you're going to see near the shaft is the original timber. I've got one rule for this section here. The timbers near the shaft are a little unstable, not quite dangerous yet, but close enough. So if you guys want to, you guys can come to about yay far to me.
Okay.
And just show you, see the original shafts? Original 1925 shaft, 1925, 1936. Here's our manway, or that emergency exit we were making a joke about earlier. But mines are required to have what are called manways, or essentially a ladder out. Or a part of our original manway is actually behind you guys, laying on the floor, that wooden ladder. That would have gone all 2,700 feet of the mine. You're at the 100-foot station. There's 2,600 more feet of mine beneath your feet. 16 more stations. If that cage ever wasn't working, you could climb your way out. Is that a fun time? No, that's half a mile vertically.
After you've been working 12 hours in a day or something?
Right. But you had to have a way out, and that's basically the only way you could do it. So this is the new one we installed last summer. We've got our original electrical equipment on your right-hand side. So all of our original electrical equipment still has ACM coal right on it. See if we can figure that out.
American Boots.
Not American. What's the name of the mining company here in Butte?
AGM?
Daly's company. It's a snake.
Oh, Anaconda.
Anaconda.
Okay.
C, what are we mining in Butte? Primarily copper. M, mining company. The Anaconda Copper Mining Company. This is still there.
Okay.
Now, where did Daly get the name Anaconda? Because that's kind of a weird name.
Yeah.
A snake.
Well, there's two rumors. One, his first mine that he owned looked like a giant snake running through the mountain, so he thought of an anaconda. The other rumor is he wanted to create a company so strong it would strangle out the rest of the competition like a constrictor snake. Well, they did so.
Antitrust back then.
Because Clark. Whatever happened to Clark? Well, Clark owned all of his mines individually so he could have a greater share of the profits. He was worth about triple daily. But by owning all the mines individually, as Anaconda wanted to expand, they only ever had to buy one mine at a time rather than Clark's entire company that didn't exist. And so with that, they eventually took over Butte, doing exactly what Daly said it was going to do. Now, Anaconda, the town, was supposed to have a different name. What is the, let's see if you guys know it, the Greek, I think it's the Greek word or Greek root for city.
Is it Metro?
It's the other half.
Polis?
Opolis. Yeah, so Opolis. The original town name for Anaconda was supposed to be Copperopolis. Why didn't he choose that name? Colorado already had it.
All right.
He was beat to it. So unfortunately, he couldn't call Anaconda Copperopolis. How old, talking about just kind of mining here in Butte, how old did you have to be to work in the mines? There was no age restriction. It was actually an education restriction. Butte had a lot of money, so there was a really good education system here in Butte. You needed to be roughly about 12 years old to start working in the mines because you needed to get an education first, or at least try getting an education. And so with that, the average miner here in Butte could start about 12 years old. You were roughly about 4'8" to 5'4", roughly 100 to 115 pounds. Very, very small men. Those white cages you saw fit about 5 to 8 on the way in, 10 to 15 on the way out. Why? What was your first stop after the mine? Did you go home right away?
The shower?
Shower, and then where? When you got into your clothes, where'd you go?
I would assume eat dinner.
You went to the bar.
Oh, okay.
The mine bought your first round, usually a pint of beer and a shot of whiskey, a Boilermaker. And that was on the mine. And then, oh, hey, look, the bars were owned by the mines. Then you just waste all your money at the mines and the casinos and the red light district here in town. Oh, wait, now you're broke. What do you got to do tomorrow?
Go back to work.
Go back to work. With that also, why did Clark build that giant amusement park we were talking about?
Get money from people.
What's the phrase? Happy what? Happy life?
Used to be.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy used to be. That. Happy wife, happy life. You kept the wife and the kids happy and entertained. Are they going to want to leave Butte? No. So if they're not going to want to leave Butte, where are you going to stay?
In Butte.
In Butte. Mining. Kind of interesting there. Once again, Clark passed away in 1925 at a roughly, I can't remember the exact age, but he was roughly about 80 years old. Why? He didn't go in the mines. Daly passed away in 1900. He was in his mid-50s. He was worth about $900 million when he passed away. In today's dollar, of course. Right. When he passed away in 1900. Kind of.
I get a question. How deep is this shaft right here?
This shaft is about 2,700 feet deep, or an additional 2,600 feet deep. And the water is just 8 feet below us. Everything's flooded, except for that.
And are you going to ever improve this so we could go out that way?
They're still working on it.
Okay.
So I gotta have you.
Yeah.
I gotta have you back.
He says the floor is not stable. Is the floor hollow beneath us? Is that why you're worried?
So there's a little bit here. Because the shaft starts right about there.
Okay.
So, especially when I get groups of 14 and they all want to come up, I'm like, no. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to double check our time real quick, but anything you guys can think of. So we're just about out of time, so I can take maybe 1 or 2 questions. Anything you guys can think about. Anything we covered today. Anything.
Are there any mines around here, like if you're local, that you could kind of, self-explore?
Most of them are caged off or capped off. That's actually what I do for ARCO now. Is my research is they want to remediate one of the areas right by the mountain con, and they're afraid of bringing a backhoe on site because of all the underground workings. So I'm mapping those mines using we call it geophysics, but essentially electrical resistivity and seismic on the surface, mapping those mines underground for them.
Like Jurassic Park.
Kinda, yeah. Kinda. So kind of neat there, but yeah, so I'll be done this summer with my research and my master's.
And they were saying in the silver mines, a lot of times, once they dig out and they got what they want, they'd refill it back in with concrete.
Yeah.
Do they do that anything here, or is it all
Not
empty?
concrete, but backfill is what we call it. You'll take
Okay.
that muck, if you're out of that area and you don't
Okay.
need it, fill that stope in with backfill.
Yeah, that's what they said. They mixed the trailings or whatever it's called with the concrete, so it would solidify and then it'd be stable.
Right, yeah.
Because they really needed their veins were diagonal, so they wanted to be able to kind of.
Right, yeah, ours were roughly about 60 degrees to vertical, so it gets a little tricky at that point. But we'll go ahead and head on out. Showing you that when they ever, so when you need a bolt, you get a bolt to do it on the finger. Other than that, because even you'll see that dovetailing here, that puzzle piece in a little bit, right in this corner here. But then when you need to actually attach bolts or attach timber to timber, then you will. But when it comes to like the actual structure.
Wait, where is the bell? It's got a sign saying we can't ring the bell, but I don't see it.
So we moved that up because we never had electrical down here. We moved it up to 65, but now that the 65's getting maintenance, we're probably going to bring that bell here down here probably this season at some point. And it's just a buzzer is all it really
Right,
is.
yeah.
Is that for the singles?
For the what?
The singles, the bell?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I always remember 2 pause 1, 3, or sorry, you go 2 pause 2, 3, 2 pause 1. Says I'm at the second station. I have men. They need to go up to the first station. All right, we'll head on up, guys. I will be right behind you, or I'll be with you guys, basically. I've had people trying to stay down here after the tours, and, I'm like,
So,
and so I lock it between the tours. And it's, what should I
So how
say?
many tours you do a day?
We were doing 2. Now we're up to 3 a day. We've got an 11, 1, and 3. And then I do about 4 days of tours a week, roughly.
Right.
And then when we get busy in the summer, we'll actually run 6 tours a day, and we'll alternate every hour. So we'll have 2 different guides, and then basically while I'm giving like my surface portion, the other tour is underground.
yeah, if you go to the big silver mine tour, have you done that? They
In Wallace, yeah.
Yeah. So you know how they have 2 entrances? You go in the upper entrance, come out the lower entrance. So
Yep.
they have it like they can have a tour every half hour by doing that. Wow. What about all these colors? Can you tell us what like all these reds and greens and purples
So
here?
reds is a little bit of just iron oxidizing out. Your yellow is called green octite. It's a cadmium sulfate that's been precipitating out of the rocks for about last 100 years since being exposed to oxygen.
Yeah, I'm used to lava tubes, so usually it's all gray, and then occasionally you get some like weird colors. Though it's like, wow, what is this?
Right. The deepest mine I've ever been in was in Wallace, Idaho. I got to do one of their active silver mine tours, like for school. We got to go down to the 5,400 foot level. So under a mile deep below the surface. The only difference between that and here is temperature.
Right. Yeah, I saw a video of that on YouTube. I'm like, I wasn't invited to that. What the heck? Anyway.
Go to school up here.
Well, I've already been to 7 years of school. I think I'm quitting for now. Anyway. Maybe if I get bored after I retire, I'll come back and be a career student or something.
There you go.
There you go.
If you guys ever get the chance, I recommend going to Bisbee, Arizona. They're another copper mining town. It's a great tour down there. They're a little different though, because they're in a limestone deposit. So their method of mining is quite different than here in the Grand.
They don't have to use dynamite or something?
They still use dynamite and they blast it, but they do what's called ballroom mining, which is essentially rather than having narrow tunnels and surgically removing, they basically open up a sphere.
Oh, wow. Like how many feet in diameter?
80, 100.
Oh, wow.
Massive.
That'd be neat to see, yeah.
All right. So you say this tunnel was diamonded also?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. In Butte, if you wanted to make a tunnel, granite's too hard. So they blasted most of it out. It's kind of interesting when they start doing, you think about when they start from the surface,
Right.
to build your shaft, you have to go down 10, 20 feet of blasting first. Then you can really start getting in there with bolting and such. So then you can start shoring up the timber and all that. And Butte's kind of got a crazy history with mining. I always like bringing that up. I mean, our first underground mines opened in 1864. Our last one closed in 1975. We had 111 years of underground mining, and it was just right around the corner. The Berkeley closed in 1982.
So by that time, I'm sure they probably figured out how to use the kind of respirators.
Oh yeah, we've got what's called for the bad air. We've got what's called self-rescuers.
Right.
Essentially, it's a charcoal filter with a little bit of chemicals in there, but it allows you to breathe. Those are very nice. They're heavy. They weigh about 10 pounds. But
So they didn't have like an EPA emergency breathing apparatus? So they run down here and you plug into it?
nope. No. Unfortunately, safety wasn't a priority in Butte. It was how much money can Clark and Daly make. And I will add, kind of a fun thing. So we're one of the major copper producers here, or were one of the major copper producers in the world through World War II.
Right.
What's one way you could get off the front lines in World War II?
Get it,
You
John.
could prove you had mining experience. They'd take you off the front lines, ship you to people.
Really?
Oh yeah. But yeah, once again, you had to prove you had mining experience. But they were taking men off the front lines to send to Butte, because of our demand for copper.
Get your exercise.
Oh yeah. Once we get outside, you guys can take those hard hats if you want. Off, sorry.
Well, I need to get my hat back, though.
Yeah. No, I'll get you your stuff.
Okay.
Don't worry. We gotta go up to the closet. If you guys want to turn off those lights for me, that'd be
What's the
awesome.
point of having that foam there?
Helps keep the breeziness down.
Okay. You want to limit airflow then?